called me to pick him up.
What's that?
They called me to pick him up from the hospital.
Was this George?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Watch your step.
Good door. Yeah, I don't want you to fall.
Okay.
I gotta open the door now. It locks.
Great. Really?
Hey, at least I have the key.
Okay, well that's true, because if not, we'll be having a conversation in my car because it's cold.
Would you go to the hospital? Oh, yeah, you had to go. How was everything at the hospital, George?
Well, they did all the tests and let me go instead of keeping me.
Okay. Everything's good, or what did they find?
Were you there this morning?
I was not.
They didn't find anything. He passed all of his tests.
Okay.
Everything was fine. They let me go and Randie picked me up.
Okay.
Because they called me to pick him up.
Okay. Good enough. Well, I'll just have you have a seat out here while I go talk to her, if you don't mind.
Have a seat.
All right.
A drink?
Good. Appreciate you being able to meet with me.
I'll try to get on board, but there's no way.
That's okay. So, the officers kind of briefed me a little bit that you wanted to come talk to me.
They told me I had to come talk to you.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I guess it's just to clear up some information on all this. How did you meet?
I met George through my work.
Okay.
And then we just became friends.
Okay.
He lived in Federal Heights.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he wasn't answering his phone when I was trying to get him to answer his phone for labs, and it just concerned me. And my doctor's always like, talk to him, he's lonely, talk to him.
Okay.
We just had a friendship. It was just an easy thing.
Okay.
Known him for 18 months. So I started going down there, visiting with him. I've always done this. I can give you 5 people on my phone, even from Florida to this day, I've always been that way. It's how I was raised.
Okay.
And so I just started taking care of him, and he would call me when he was hurt. He would call me when he just wanted somebody to talk to.
Okay.
And so we just became friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay. Are you his caretaker?
The only thing I have is this,
Okay.
because it's not, I have the paperwork that he wanted from his, oh, not this,
Okay.
sorry, that's for my son.
But you don't.
Maybe that's not the whole thing. God, I don't
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say,
because
because
this is signed.
yeah, if you have some signed paperwork that I can copy for the other officers, and basically I'm just gonna.
I do. I don't know if
Yeah, because this is.
it might be in my note here.
That was
There you go.
blank.
He has his niece on there that never calls, never talks to him.
Okay.
So he wanted to have somebody to help him if he got sick.
Okay.
As for being a legal caretaker, I'm not a legal caretaker of him.
Okay.
I do things to help him.
Like what?
I take him to his doctor's appointments when I'm off on Thursdays.
Okay.
I've taken him for cataract surgery. I've taken him to have his legs checked out that they were having a big steaming fit about. It's
Okay.
documented by Melanie Denham at Boulder Community Hospital as of last week.
Those
are not new.
Oh, okay.
I helped him move because he was being harassed in Federal Heights.
Who is he being harassed by?
His neighbor, he's had his car stolen, broken into. His neighbors were accusing him of running into their vehicles when his insurance agency has never got a report. A police report was never filed. They were giving him a bad time because he was thrown up off of the balcony because he has hepatitis B and C. So, no. I've always just been there for him.
Okay.
Am I gaining anything out of this? No, he's my friend.
Okay.
Does he trust me with everything? Pretty much, because I'm not out to take advantage of him. He has nothing, and if he didn't have me, he would be dead.
Okay.
And you can ask him that.
No, and
I just don't understand
believe.
what is going on.
Well,
I understand that you guys look in his fridge and probably had a canary because all he has is fear. I
Yeah,
feed him every night.
He just has alcohol there, and he
We
wanted
try.
to go. Okay.
He's 67 years old. He's mentally capable of making his own choices. He can go to the store.
So he hasn't been deemed incompetent by
No.
a doctor, Alzheimer's,
No.
anything like that?
No.
Okay. And he has all of his faculties about him and everything?
Yeah, he can tell you, where Highway 52 leads. He knows where we're at.
Okay.
He's not lost.
Yeah,
He's
because
not been deemed unable to take care of himself.
Mhm.
He's lonely. Doesn't want not to have people to talk to.
Okay. Well, I guess the reason all this came about is apparently someone at John's work, sorry, Joe. I don't know why I have Joe in my head. But John's work overheard a conversation about, that whenever George passes away, that he gets the car that he's driving, and apparently George has allowed you guys to keep because it kept getting, he's afraid it was going to get broke into because people keep trying to steal it out of
And you see, what I'm
everyone.
driving is my car.
Sure. And, well, they've already clarified that with George says that, he knows and he's given permission, so that's.
Yeah, it's parked at my house. It's been parked. We drive it once in a while.
But that's what's kind of stemmed all this, to try
Yeah,
and
'cause
find out what.
Yeah, I get that.
What your involvement is in his care, if you are, legal to take care of him, anything like that. That's what we're looking into, and our goal is to make sure that his best interest is taken care of as well.
Right, and he just moved into there Saturday.
Into Saturday, because there's the whole confusion. I think he said he's been there about a month, but
No,
you guys.
I can give you the lease.
Okay.
And we moved his final stuff up there Saturday before it
Okay.
snowed.
All right.
He has lived in Federal Heights. He had nothing in Federal Heights.
Mhm.
And the only reason why he has the plate and the dish and that is from me bringing dinner.
Okay.
I switched them out.
I wasn't there earlier, so I.
So I get why
don't
they
know.
would have a canary. I get it. But he doesn't like to eat. He eats, he throws up. That's addressed with Melanie Denham too.
What does he have? Is there a disorder that?
He has hepatitis B and C.
Mhm.
So he just doesn't like to eat in from anybody because he pukes.
Okay. Well, I don't know the
And
effects of it. I'm
I
not.
can give you receipts from Jimmy John's,
Mhm.
from Wendy's.
Okay.
Shit, he has the chili spilled all over in his truck. I get it.
Okay.
Every night when I come off work, I bring him something. So he was there Saturday. We had lunch Saturday. He was tired. He went to sleep.
Mhm.
Sunday we came over. We shoveled the driveway. We shoveled his sidewalks. He had 2 Subway sandwiches. He only likes certain things to eat. It's just him.
Mhm.
He's set in his ways. He's old. He's been alone. His daughters have abandoned him, his ex-wife, for
Mhm.
years and years and years. His niece, Lisa, hasn't contacted him in months.
Yeah, because you have that listed.
Yeah,
Consultation with other persons and Lisa Murphy
yep.
on this.
She doesn't contact her. I don't even know how to get a hold of her. I've tried. So last night, on Sunday night, I brought him meatloaf,
Mhm.
enough for 2 meals, and mashed potatoes and corn for 2 meals.
Okay.
He knows he needs to buy groceries. He just refuses. He wants somebody else to take him by the hand and make him do it, and that's what I've been doing.
Okay. When was the last time you guys went to go through that? I mean, you say you just moved him in on Saturday.
I was there last night.
Uh-huh.
I gave him a Subway sub.
Okay.
That's what he likes, that's what I bring him. That's just it. He eats when he wants to. Granted, yeah, he probably drinks too much beer according to them. He's not driving.
Okay.
He can work the phone. I have a message on my phone from him to call me this morning, checking on me.
Mhm.
He's doing okay. You look at the caller ID, it's me and my husband calling him 98% of the time to check on him.
And how often do you guys go over and check on him?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay.
There has not been a day since, even when he was in Federal Heights.
Mhm.
If he did not answer his phone, we were there checking on him.
I guess the other thing that, whenever the officers were talking to him is his story, whenever they seen scratches on his arm and scratches on his legs. One is that he has how would I put it, lack of better terms, and putting it in my terms, an illness that whenever he scratches, he can,
He's
you know,
got
abrasions.
he has, you know, really bad skin. He has edema.
Okay,
And I had them addressed at the appointment with Melanie Denham.
okay.
And I will, if I have to, I'll get that note. Melanie Denham knows, she's seen them. And she's also told him to stop.
Who's Melanie?
She's at Boulder Community Hospital. She's his workman's comp doctor from when he got hurt from the U.S. Postal Services. And he started going back to her because he can't walk. I mean, his back is so bad.
Okay.
He's not a candidate for surgery. That's why he has the oxys. They were just prescribed to him. And that, I mean, and she addressed him putting his elevating his feet up, addressed it, told him to stop digging at his legs. The scratch on his arm was from a box.
Okay, because he said it was because he scratched himself,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it was a little bit later that he fell and hurt himself like that. So here's the concern that starts coming up is one thing is we want to know that he is of sound of mind. You know, I've seen dementia, Alzheimer's. I've had it in my family. So my concern is that, you know, if he does have that, again, our role here is just to make sure that everything's on the up and up, that he's being taken care of, that he's not being taken advantage of.
Okay, and so here's the other thing that I can have proof on.
And based on the conversation that was overheard at John's work, that's what's kind of stemmed all this.
And that is the thing, is John's work. John's work also told me my son has no right to my son being chronically ill to take FMLA.
Yeah, I'm
So
not a
that's
doctor,
a
so
whole new thing,
you're
and I
throwing
get
something
that.
out at me, so I don't.
So we
know
already knew this was going to happen.
Okay.
Because John takes care of my son. We're married. FMLA stepchild. So she got mad about him taking a sick day to help take care of my son. I had missed 22 days of work this year because he was at Children's Hospital. Because he needed to take time off because I couldn't, then they hold it against him. This is where this is coming the full circle.
Okay.
It's from Chase Bank.
Yeah, and I don't know the.
Well, I can tell you the whole
I don't know the
circle.
dynamics there. I mean.
And I have Life Alert coming.
Okay.
It's been ordered.
For
It's
him?
supposed to be, Thursday.
Okay. All right.
He's not being neglected. He's pissed that this is coming about from.
Who's pissed?
George.
George?
He's a quiet old man. He doesn't want the big drama. He doesn't want this. He just wants to have, be taken care of. He wants not to be in a home. He wants just to live his life until he has to be in a home. So we're just taking baby steps to get him there.
Okay.
He follows up at Lonspeak Family Practice because that's where I met him, and they never said that he's crazy.
So the only thing you have power of attorney on is the medical. Anything else that you have power of attorney on?
I have the paperwork, and we were going to fill it out Thursday to take it to the lawyer in Westminster
For
everything else.
Okay.
But that hasn't been done to make this more legal, and for if he was to pass away, how his services were to be handled. That's it. Am I gaining anything? No. I'm just doing it because he needs somebody.
In any of the other family, have you been in contact with them or attempted to contact?
I have tried to call his niece. That's it.
And
I don't know where
have you been able to talk to
No.
Lisa at all?
No.
Okay.
Has she contacted him? Not since before Christmas.
Okay. And what was the reason she contacted him?
She dropped off a Christmas present on his porch and left.
Okay. So he doesn't
They would
have.
go months, and I'm meaning months without talking.
Okay.
That's the only. He talks to his sister in Wyoming, and that she, I don't know what their conversation is. I don't know her name. I don't get that. That's his business.
Okay.
He's more than capable of making that. I can't. Don't tell him yes, no, none of that.
Okay.
None of that.
Okay. So basically, you guys taking over is just to help him. It's not for any monetary beneficial gain or anything
Okay, so he
like
gets
that.
U.S. Postal retirement. Seriously, civil. That's it.
Okay.
What am I going to gain? I really like to know where this Chase lady. I know who she is. Seriously, and I'm done. That's beyond.
Sure.
Yeah,
anything with Chase, you guys are gonna have to deal with over there.
What am I going to gain? I mean,
I don't know what he has, I'm just,
No, I'm
I'm
just
asking.
saying, I just don't understand why she even involves her nose in this, and I think it's just a vendetta against my husband.
Well, and
And
I
I
don't
get-
know, and, I guess whenever you look at it from the outside,
Right,
I know you're saying that you want to help him and everything, but whenever we look at it, you have no relation to the family and you're taking over power of attorney of medical and that. I just want to, the reason I'm asking all these questions is I want to find out why is not family not doing this? Why are
he
you
doesn't
doing
have
it?
any family.
And so that's why we want to talk to you, find out where your role is, and then, also clear up anything, because someone comes back to us and says, we didn't investigate this, and they feel that there's wrong.
Right.
Well, we can investigate it and either clear it as there is wrong or there's not. Okay, so that's what this is about.
Right.
Okay, we just, again, our responsibility here is whenever the officers on scene see no food in the house, they're not able to tell him,
Right.
he's not able to tell the officers, his last meal, stuff like that. He's got scratches on his arms that he explains as he did it by scratching, and then changes sooner or later in the conversation that he fell, hurt himself. Our concern is just making sure that the persons that are in line to take care of him are doing it for the
Right.
purposes of seeing beneficial to him, and then hopefully looking at saying, this turns over to the family, we want nothing from it other than make sure his health.
Right.
Okay, that's where we're at. Okay, so that's why we're launching an investigation to clear out anything that anybody would come back on us later on and say, you guys just passed it off as, and so whenever.
Right, and I understand that.
And if there's nothing wrong, then you guys are cleared and we're done, okay? But we just want to make sure that we're covering all those bases to make
Right.
sure that there's not, okay? So that's what this comes down to. And what's going on with Chase Bank, we don't know. I mean, honestly, that's beyond our power, beyond our control.
Right.
Our control is just making sure that he gets the resources. At this point, it was turned into Adult Protective Services with Weld County. Well, since since we're at this point, they're gonna have more involvement, okay? And quite honestly, the more cooperation they have from everyone involved, the smoother everything goes if there's nothing wrong, okay?
Right.
So that's why the flags came up,
Right.
okay? We're trying to figure out what your involvement is in it. And you're a MA
Yeah.
at Longmont. Is it the medical center, or you work at the Kaiser, or
I work at Long Peak Family Practice,
Long Peak? Is that over?
Office Sunset.
Yeah, I'm not even sure where that's at. I know where the Kaiser facility is, but
Oh, no, not even there, Kaiser, thank you.
yeah. So,
I mean, he even tells the doctor and stuff that, if he wants to go and stuff, that I come and get him.
okay.
I mean, he doesn't run around or anything. He
Because
goes out and starts his truck.
what he relayed is that he thought that you were his caretaker. That's what he labels you as, and
Yes.
then if you're not licensed caretaker, that raises concern for us. That you would be saying that you're a licensed caretaker. That's what he's convinced of. So that's the other side, is that
Right. I have my licenses, but I don't do it privately. I do that because he asked me to do it.
you have licenses to do private care
I have a CNA license from Florida.
from
I have
Florida.
a medical license certified to
Oh,
work
okay.
where I'm working.
Okay.
I mean, I
I'm
don't
asking.
understand, just because he says that I'm his caretaker, well, I do take care of him, I'm not illegal, I don't work for anybody, and I don't work for him. He doesn't pay me.
His thing is that you're the primary caretaker of all of his medical needs, not power of attorney.
Right,
That you would be more of a in-home nurse care. That's what that's what his perception is.
right,
And so therefore, in order to relieve you of any problems, is that we want to address that with you and say, this is what he believes you are.
right,
If you're not, allowed to, then you would get yourself in trouble. And so that's why I'm asking, because, you know, I could go and get scrubs and say, you know, I'm able to take care of you. And so that's what I'm here to verify. Okay, that's why I asked those questions.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, and I understand where he gets that. I mean, from work and stuff, but as for being his legal caregiver and stuff, I do it because we've just been friends. You know, and I've always been this way. I mean, from Florida to here to when I was just even a teenager. I mean, that's just how I was brought up. You never turn your cheek on somebody.
So power of attorney, I mean, if he passes away, is the power of attorney going to be to try and get a hold of family and get everything turned back over and let them?
See, and that's what we were going to do on Thursday, because he ordered the paperwork through his attorney in Denver to be sent here.
Okay.
Because he thinks he's dying. He'll die one day, and he thinks he's going to be living until he's 99. He wants that taken care of. He wants Lisa listed on there and his brothers and sisters. He wants to line up his ducks.
Okay.
But he doesn't know, he just doesn't have, he doesn't want to write it out. He just wants somebody else to help him.
Okay.
That's up to him, when he takes it to the court to figure out. That isn't me.
Okay.
I mean, if you take that document and stuff, they're gonna want all the I's and T's and all that stuff. That's up to him.
Yeah, and that, I mean, if it's done in court and everything, then that's fine.
Right.
You know, and that's why, you know, this is more of your temporary paperwork till you can get into the court, which, you know, you guys had it done in front of a notary.
Right.
You know.
I mean, I didn't force him to sign it. He wanted to have it signed.
Okay. And you know what, that's what the notary would be able to attest to, is that it was done voluntarily in their presence, anything like that, if we needed to call them. Okay, so, I mean, if that's, you know, what you guys have planned for him, then, you know, and he's, from what I've heard, I haven't spoke with him, I haven't had a long conversation with him.
Right.
But like you say, the thing is want to make sure that's why I'm asking about his clean bill of health, what his health is, from this recent, you know, did they find anything?
He has the paperwork with him.
Okay, all right.
I mean, they called me to come get him. So, I mean, if I'm the one that's abusing them, why would they call me?
I'm not accusing you of abuse, am I?
Well, no, it's just, I know where it stems from, and I get that. And that's something that you guys have nothing to deal with.
Yeah.
But I don't hurt George.
No, this isn't an allegation of abusing him. I just want you to understand that. Okay. I mean, from whenever we look at it, we just want to make sure, because there's too many people that have done it. They've went in, they've taken advantage of someone.
And walked away with everything they have. I know.
So that's what we're here to make sure, that everything is legitimate. That everything that it's not happening. Okay, that's why we're involved. If we find there's no malice, there's nothing that's, you know, that you're not trying to take advantage of him or anything like that, we're done. Our part's done. Okay, so that's what this come to. That's because of what was reported at Chase, and I understand you're upset about that. But, you know, I'm being upfront with you. I'm telling you that's why. Okay. And that's we have a legal obligation to get involved and investigate and make sure.
So I have a question.
Sure.
You can either say you have no clue. So when this is all done, however long it takes, whatever, I don't even know, and they find that this is fine, does this go back to Chase and tell them that they're freaking crazy?
Do we go back to Chase and tell them they're crazy?
Well, whoever investigates this so-called,
we don't have any obligation to have to let Chase know anything. I mean, it's not our part to call Chase and say, hey, you know, you guys were wrong or anything like that. We do our investigation. It's public record. If they want to have the report, they can request the report.
Right.
You know, but no, we don't have a habit of calling them and saying, you know, by the way, because this was relayed to us through Department of Human Services. So our reporting back and our working with Adult Protective Services with the Department of Human Services, that's our reporting back.
Right.
As far as what happened with Chase, Department of Human Services can contact them back since they had the referral. Can we call them? We can just, our basic notification is just telling them whether it's founded or unfounded. Other than that, we don't have any obligation, and quite honestly, it's above what we should do to say, hey, you guys, ours is founded or unfounded, and that's what our finding.
I mean, really, I mean, you can look and, call the cable company, power company, nothing was switched over until Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
And I'm taking it as face value. It's just
I
some
get
confusion.
I get it, where people are abused and stuff. I have nothing to gain from this. I don't. George is just my friend.
Okay.
He reached out, just like anybody else, and just asked for help. And
Okay.
that's it. I don't want him to die alone. That's not fair. I've tried to reach out to his niece. Maybe she just doesn't see that maybe she doesn't know. She's busy. I get it.
Do you guys keep any documentation of whenever you've tried to?
Um,
Other than your phone record, cell phone record?
no.
Because you can pull your cell phone record
right,
at any
and
time.
we can pull George's cell phone where he's trying to call her too.
Okay.
And if it's somebody that you're supposed to be taking care of and their phone doesn't work and they don't answer, it's a flag.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone down there plenty of times just to check on him, make sure he was okay. When his neighbors hit the car,
Mm-hmm.
he was calling me at 7:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I went down there, I called his insurance company and talked to his insurance guy and told him what was going on. He can, tell you that because he was being threatened. And that was just before he moved up here. He wanted to move up here.
Sure.
He put in an application at Eagle Crest.
Mm-hmm. Application at Eagle Crest?
Yeah,
Oh.
because that's where I live.
Oh, that's where you live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm Michelle's friend. Cousin Powers. Scott. You don't know Scott Michelle? Did
No.
you not just do a class with Scott at Kinsco?
Yeah, we just went through the AR-15 armors course.
Yeah. My
Okay.
friend and Scott.
Okay,
My
yeah.
husband and Scott are best friends, pretty much.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Scott, you threw Scott at me. I'm like,
Who the heck is that?
whenever you say Kinsco now, I know who he is. He's the manager, or one of the
Yes.
managers at Kinsco.
He's a little down on that side, but that doesn't matter.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a quick copy for this, forward it on over to the officers, and, if there's anything else, I'll have them give you a call.
So do you seriously think I'm abusing this man for?
I'm not accusing you of abusing. I've never used...
It's just frustrating to me. Everybody's like, well, you should go with a lawyer. Well, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to gain.
I've not used the word abuse. I've not accused you of abusing at any point during our conversation.
And after we get done here, he's going to Safeway.
Okay.
He will put food in the fridge.
Give him some food. Okay. No, my concern, our agency's concern, is making sure that he is not being taken advantage of.
Right.
That's what this comes down to.
Right.
It's not an abuse. I've never used that term.
I know, but to me, it seems like that's what, how am I going to take advantage of somebody that relies on me more than anybody in the world?
Yeah, I can relay back to one case where we had a person who was the caretaker of an elderly female, and she ended up going and writing checks out of this lady's account for her own benefit. Okay, and you know what? She meant well. She meant to do everything she could to help her out, but she ended up taking advantage of this lady by using her check and that.
Right.
And there was no doubt in my mind that she cared about her. Okay, it was a painful case because she was a very sweet lady that took care of this sweet old lady. Okay, so my thing is I have to look at it. I seen it happen, so
I know. And I've seen it too.
I have to
being a caretaker for 15 years. I get it.
Yeah.
But I have a lot on the line. I have a family that I have to take care of too. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way that I was raised. I've seen people not have and people be alone. Like Miss May in Florida, nobody would talk to her. Nobody would do anything for her. To this day, she and I still talk.
Okay.
I've just always been that way. I've never been selfish because I know what it feels like not to have, and not to have somebody be there. Being a single mom and stuff with 3 kids. I don't understand that whole concept. And it's just, him and I are just friends.
Okay.
you know, and if there's a problem, I'm the first person he calls.
Mm-hmm.
When he couldn't call me when he lived in Westminster, he drove to my work to find me.
Okay.
You know, so if it's a trust issue, he trusts me, and there's no way I would take
It
advantage
doesn't seem like there's a trust issue that he doesn't trust you. You know,
I mean,
again, like I say, I've seen it, so I have to look at this objectively, and you know, I'm going to ask those painful questions. I'm going to ask those
yeah.
upsetting questions. Okay.
Yeah,
But
the ones that dig a little deep.
they do dig a little deep, and it's not.
And
It's
I
not.
get that. I
Not
know.
meant as mean shots, anything, but I've got to ask those because, unfortunately, whenever it started out, this lady had very good intentions, and you know what? No one else was able to take care of her. After I drove this lady clear up to Greeley to get her checked out, she had feces on her feet because she was walking through the house, and this other lady had kept coming over and taking care of her. She finally volunteered to do that, and 3 years later, that's whenever she said, well, you know what, I'm going to take a little bit for myself because I'm getting nothing out of this, and she wrote checks to buy her own stuff, and that was whenever we had a criminal act.
All right.
Okay, so yes, I asked those questions, are you doing that because of that?
Right.
You know, and you know, whenever I have nothing to say that you are right now, and hopefully I never
He has better
see that.
handwriting than me.
So, you know, again, that, I don't know. He has
I
good
don't know.
handwriting.
George Baker, he can sign his name very good.
Yeah,
So don't even go figure.
yeah, you have good handwriting. But anyways, like I say, that's why I'm asking these painful questions, okay? I'm not accusing you of abuse. I've never used that word
Well,
during
I
this
just
whole.
don't want people to think that I would take advantage of him and stuff. There's nothing to take advantage of.
Well, and you
There's
coming and
no-
talking to us,
I mean, it freaked me out all day long to the point I was sick.
okay.
He's my friend. And the
So
fact that, you know, I didn't hear from him until 3:30, and I'm the one that he called to come and get him.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna make copies of this really quick so I can forward it on over to the officers.
Okay.
And if there's any other questions, comments, or concerns, I'll have Officer Marshall or Officer Hallowell, the two officers that originally started on this, give you a call,
Okay.
and we'll go from there. Don't forget that. We'll get you back out there, and at least it's warm back here. It was cold earlier. Grab as many as you need there.
That's all right. It's all good.
And use your name, Randie or EE?
I.E.
Looks like,
See, I have really bad handwriting, and you're questioning.
I don't know if it's really bad handwriting. Mine is bad.
Yeah, but you're like a doctor.
Get you that back. So your hospital visit was okay?
Not bad at all. I've been in there before.
Yeah?
I had
Where was it, Longmont United?
Yeah.
titanium hip put in that 3 years ago. They did good.
So do you have, did they give you one of those little cards if you ever go through the airport? Saying you have a medal in you?
That's why I don't go to DIA anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Keep telling my wife if I end up going,
so,
going somewhere, I have to go through the metal detector. I have ACL reconstruction, so I have a screw
Yep.
in my upper and lower leg, so I'm just wondering if the metal detectors will pick that up, because I can pick it up with our little,
They won't pick it up because I
Scanner.
squeeze my feet. They never say anything.
really,
I walk through there
because our little wand, I can wand it over my leg and
and you beep like a mad
I
one.
beep, yeah.
Well, it's a TSI people.
The TSAs, yeah.
TSA, I won't go there anymore.
Yeah.
Because every time I used to fly up to Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
you'd think that, I had to take off my shoes, and you'd think I was a terrorist.
I had to do that whenever I went up for jury duty. Actually, through the court metal detector. The first time I've done jury duty probably three, 4 times.
Yeah.
And this would have been the fourth. It was been 3 times before. And this is the first time that I've ever had to take my shoes off going in.
Wow.
I was supposed to go to jury duty in Brighton of all places
Uh-huh.
in the last 3 days. And Dr. Ribnack, Randie's spouse, wrote a letter to him and said,
Mm-hmm.